Hello there traders, and welcome to another update on the market. For today I decided to cover USD versus Japanese yen. I will speak about US dollar index, gold market, crude oil, and Bitcoin versus US dollar. I will start with the USD versus Japanese yen first. So basically what we got here is that something that I spoke in my previous forecast, that basically USD Japanese yen is in a heavy upside cycle. And the breakout of this balancing process here produced a nice continuational rally. And we can see basically that yesterday market tried to go to the downside, but very little reaction from sellers. Seems like market is ready to continue with upside momentum and this upside cycle. And I can see USD Japanese yen to retest the key pivot highs around 138.85 and 131.25. So my advice is basically to watch for buying opportunities on the pullbacks, and we can see market basically already made this ABC and pullback to the rising 2-day moving average, and basically it's starting to build higher lows. So that's a very good sign for the further down upside continuation. So that's why I expect higher prices. Speaking of the US dollar index, we can see basically that market is just doing the sideways line and sideways trading around 101.73, which is the previous day low. Now, in terms of the daily time frame, the picture is not that clear because we have overlapping bar yesterday, and overall this area here is area where we have lots of overlappings. So I can basically see that there is a potential for the sidewaysing regime here. We also had in the background a bull divergence and then reaction. So we'll see if the market can retest the low. We also have non-farm employment change today in US, and it will be a very big event which can definitely affect the market and bring more volatility on the market. So weekly is pretty much an up cycle. It's in a correction, but it is a heavy up cycle in the background. So we'll see. For now, this is a sideways to me, and we'll see if we can get away from this box and basically confirm either further downside move or reaction upside to the big longer term upside trends. Speaking of the gold, I suggested yesterday that we had this bull flag on hourly. Hourly held pretty good after this markup phase, and market produced another rally, but we can basically find that this is a key pivot level at 1868, and this is a previous day high, right? I mean, this previous major swing high. On the daily time frame, we see the market looked above and then failed, and now it's trying to back here below this pivot. Overall, there is no long-term trends, are basically flat. We don't have any trend on the mid-long-term perspective. Even the 20-day trend, we have a flat environment. So gold is more market for reversion to the mean. So the market will go like this example. Market go into the extreme reading, so market reject back towards the mean. Same thing here, market hit extreme, create some exhaustion, market trying to get back towards the mean. So it's more reversion to the mean type of environment on the gold market. Speaking of the crude oil, this is something that that I alerted you yesterday. There is a potential for this ABC to complete, and basically that was the right structure. Market is still in the upside cycle, and crude oil is overall in an upside cycle. And if this is a completion of ABC and this is just an overall pullback, I can expect higher price on the crude oil and eventual retest of the 120.20, right? And then eventually to attack 127 mark, or to be precise 126.80, and then eventually 129.50. For now, market is doing some pullback mode today, but there was a potential this ABC completion in the background from previous days. So upside opportunity is still preferable as long as we don't clear the low at 111.20. Speaking of the Bitcoin versus US dollar, we can see that market had an inside day yesterday. Market slowed down and had an inside bar. So previously we have mark up and no fall through, market reacted downside. So it's a very questionable where we'll go from this area. Mid long-term trends are down, but short-term trends are kind of flat, and we have a flat environment and lots of the basing process, lots of overlapping. So if we don't go really away from this area and have a follow through, either upside or downside, it's hard to expect that market will do anything. It will just relatively remain in this range and just trade around. So inside that, and I will watch for a potential breakout of either 32,000 mark or 29,270 mark. Breaking lower, breaking this support can lead us to 28, test of the 28,150, or even test of the 25,000 mark. If we break 32,000 and have a follow through, then we can expect a potential retest of the 34,220 or 37,500. So watch for a breakout of this bigger consolidation. That'll be all for this update. I hope that you did enjoy. Trade safe, have a nice weekend, and talk to you from Monday next week.